Well, like clockwork, he bought more. Tilray CEO Irwin Simon has purchased shares. We're going to be discussing this insider buying in just a moment. Before we do, welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, everybody. It's Rod with Pow Group, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today is Wednesday, July 30th. Hope you're doing awesome. And in this video, we're going to be discussing Irwin Simon, CEO of Tilray Brands, himself buying shares today. And we also just posted a video a couple of hours ago on the CFO, Carl Merton, purchasing more as well. So we'll discuss all of that and more. We were discussing in the Pow Group private community. It likely wouldn't be that long before we saw something on similar on Irwin, and that's exactly what we got. But as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And full disclosure, I do own Tilray. It's my largest cannabis portfolio holding. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. Getting a ton of followers over there recently, so I really appreciate all of the support there and here on YouTube. So if you're unsure how to, I had some questions about this. How do you find out this information? So you just go to Tilray website, so tilray.com, click on investors, and then go to SEC financials, then SEC filings. So you'll see these two statement of changes in beneficial ownership of securities. And one is for Irwin and one is for Carl. So one for the CEO, one for the CFO. And you can also go to Fintel as well. So if we see Tilray, Irwin Simon article, you can see he actually purchased on July 30th, 2025, the reporting person, Irwin Simon, purchased 165,000 shares of common stock of Tilray Brands, Inc. on the open market at a price per share of just over 60 cents. And then I posted this video earlier today, but obviously this came out first. We didn't have the Irwin news, so it was a little premature. But we were discussing in the Pow Group private community that Irwin could be next. And I even said in my video that VFF CEO is buying a ton of VFF. So we'll see if that trend continues with Tilray. We'll see if the executives continue to purchase and purchase and purchase more Tilray. And that's exactly what we got. We had Carl coming in on July 30th, 2025. The reporting person purchased 33,500 shares, so not quite as many, but still a decent chunk of change. And that was common stock of Tilray Brands Inc. on the open market as per a share price of 59 cents, just under 60 cents. So he did beat Irwin to the bid support there. He was able to hit buy first apparently. But overall, this is a positive sign. You know, it's not the most bullish thing ever. I see people saying, "Oh, this is going to like change the world," you know. No, Tilray's not going to the moon tomorrow or anything like that. But it certainly is a vote of confidence and reassurance that when you have the executives backing this, and you have to remember they get a lot of compensation. I hear people say about their salary all the time. Well, to each their own. You're not the CEO, you're not the CFO, so you can think whatever you want. But if you were the CEO or the CFO, I bet you there's a lot of work involved. And I bet you'd be thinking you were maybe underpaid. So keep in mind that a lot of their payments, right, a lot of their compensation is in stock-based compensation. So if the stock is down 80, 90% plus from all-time highs, guess what? They would not have as high as a net revenue, right, or a net what's the word I'm looking for? Net worth. So they want the price higher, obviously, right? Because they get a lot of stock-based compensation. So the higher the stock price, the more wealthy they are and the higher their net worth. So it's very simple stuff. And then you can go over to fintel.io and you can just type in Tilray, click on Insiders, scroll down, and you'll see trade date. And actually, Sir Irwin Simon actually came in. That's weird because Carl was there and there was no Irwin. But now it's showing Irwin before CFO. I guess it doesn't matter what time of day. If you're the CEO, you just get bumped up. But July 30th, nonetheless, you can see here Irwin, 165,000 shares, and Carl, 33,500 shares, respectively. So you can see here Irwin just slightly higher there, about a penny higher, a little over a penny higher. And his cost basis, so $100,000, over $100,000 US, and Carl Merton's was just under $20,000 US. So again, it's not, stop the press kind of thing. It's the most bullish news ever. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's just a vote of confidence. And, insider ownership, you now got 13.79%. We know that we have a very high short percentage. It's about 20% right now. And I think this thing is ripe for a short squeeze. But like I said, it's always a good sign when you got management loading up. They get a lot of compensation in stock as well. So you have to factor that in. And you have to remember, these executives, they might not be with the company for forever, but they do benefit from a higher share price. So when people say that they get paid too much, understand that their salary is mostly in stock-based compensation, meaning their net worth, they're going to make more money, they're going to become more wealthy if the share price is higher, right? So when they feel the burn, right, when the share prices are down 80, 90%, they're feeling the burn along with us, which I quite like, to be honest with you, because it goes to show that they're going to work that much harder versus, having all of their salary paid out in dollars. I'd rather be in stock-based compensation. So whether or not you think they get paid too much or too little, that's completely up to you. I don't think I've met one person on planet Earth that said they got paid too little. But keep in mind, there's some CEOs making billions of dollars per annum. Actually, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, is now valued at $10 billion, and the company was just created in 2012. There's a good chance that that company creates the first trillionaire in the world. But overall, Tilray not looking too bad at all. We held key support there at 57 cents. We did wick below it, but we closed the day right at 57 cents. That's why I said it was key support, and hence the close right at 57 cents. And then today we've jumped to 62 cents. So it's a daily inside bar, likely into tomorrow, which would be the second day in a row. So we're going to be looking at the high of the day today at just under 62 cents and the low of the day at just over 58 cents as key support and resistance. So we want to hold that 50, realistically, I'm looking at 58. Yeah, if we hold that, we're just fine. If we do come down and lose 55 cents, there's a good chance that we head back into the golden pocket. They're around 50 cents to 46 cents. But overall, like I said, no major red flags whatsoever. I think this company is by far the leader in the space. When it's all said and done, when time's on our side, given enough time, I'm very confident. And I don't need to convince people. I've said this many times. I don't need to convince people anymore. I've already done hundreds of thousands of research, thousands of hours of research. I've never been more confident in Tilray. I know what I own. I don't need to convince any people. I'm not even going to waste my breath. Time will do that for you. Time will convince you. But at the end of the day, I know what I own, right? And I've done the work, and I understand what I'm invested in. This company is going to, in terms of percentage, it's going to make so many people wealthy. It's not even funny. This is literally generational wealth loading. And like I said, Tilray, I don't have to convince anybody. I've done the work. I've done the due diligence. I've never been more confident in anything in my entire life. This company will be, in my opinion, top 5, no problem, like an easy layup, right? Slam dunk, whatever you want to call it. Top 3, very likely, and maybe even the top company when it's all said and done in the MJ space. And it's not even just in MJ, it's in wellness, distribution, and alcohol as well, and non-alcohol, you name it. It's a wellness company. It's a CPG company. And the company that is probably going to be the most beneficial in terms of percentage gain over the next couple of decades. Just as a reminder, tomorrow the memberships for the POW Group private community will be going up. So instead of $23.99 a month, it's going to be going to $33.99 a month Canadian, which is roughly about $30 US. And there's some people still paying $4 a month for this, and they didn't cancel, and they're still paying $4 a month. So if you lock in your price now at $23 or whatever price you're locked in at, you'll continue to maintain that price, and that'll be your price going forward as long as you don't cancel. All right, thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth, everybody. It's Rod with POW Group, and we'll see you again on the next one.